Not having to work and still receiving a monthly wage sounds like something only the rich can achieve. But it is easier than you would think. What's up everyone, my name is Joris, welcome back to my finance channel. By now I have said it 100 times already, but interest rates are low, extremely low, and returns on the most safe investment options are slim to non-existent. Back in the days you could just pick any random bond, buy it and be certain of a good and yearly return on your money. Nowadays, bond returns are decimated, in some cases even negative. Even investments linked to insurances have next to no returns, so we will need to look for passive income elsewhere. We might need to take a little bit more risk. If you invest your money in the stock market, you can choose to invest it in growth stocks, companies that are growing and are conquering market share. Those companies invest all their liquid cash in their growth and they try to grow exponentially. The return on your investment here is very risky, since companies have not yet proven themselves. But the rewards can also be very extreme. Look at the early days of Apple, for example. On the other hand, you can decide to invest in dividend-paying companies. Companies that already have set a proven track record and they are very well positioned in their global market. They don't need to protect their market share, they don't need to invest the money they earn, or they might just earn too much. So they decide to share those earnings with their shareholders by either stock buybacks, which supports the share price, or by handing out dividends. These dividends can provide you with additional income and they might add up fast. If you invest 100 euros in a company that pays out a dividend of 4%, each year you will receive 4 euros. So in normal circumstances, this dividend of 4 euros will be paid out every year. And the company can even decide to raise this dividend over time. So the dividend will, for example, grow over time from 4 euros a year to 4.5 euros a year. And since you bought the stock for 100 euros, your dividend now is 4.5 euros. Your return on investment grew from 4 to 4.5%. And all this after already receiving the dividend for a few years already. All while the company works for you and you get paid for waiting and hanging around. Well, that's the theory, but how much should we invest to get a decent monthly income with dividends alone? Well, let's look into it right after you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Well, the math is pretty simple. If you want a passive income of 1,000 euros per month in the form of dividend payments, you will need to have 12,000 euros per year in dividend. Most companies only pay out dividend once or twice a year, very few pay out every month. But if you want 1,000 euros per month or 12,000 euros per year, and your average dividend yield is 3.5%, you will need to have 350,000 euros invested. 350,000 euros, that sounds like quite a lot, and it definitely is. But this is your end goal. And depending on your current age, it will be quite easy to reach this target. As long as you are accumulating your portfolio, you won't need that 1,000 euros per month. And you can then reinvest all your dividends you get throughout the year back into your portfolio and make it grow over time. Compound interest. If you're just saving up 1,000 euros per month, it will take you 350 months to collect that 350,000 euros in savings. That's 30 years. But if you invest that same 1,000 euros in the stock market every month and invest it in the companies that will give you the dividend over time, the average return of 3.5%, it will only take you 20 years to reach the same 350,000 euros. That's already 10 years faster. After reaching that amount of invested capital, you can then stop saving and then start taking out your 1,000 euros in dividends every month. Here I am calculating returns on dividend stocks and I'm not looking at potential rises in the share prices of those companies. If you were to invest your money in the broad stock market, all in shares for the accumulating part of your financial journey, a return of 6 to 8% is achievable. And if you were to save that same 1,000 euros for 20 years in an index fund or a global fund that returns 6% yearly, in those 20 years the portfolio would have grown to 460,000 euros. Investing in more stocks is a logical choice as long as you are working, since money keeps coming in every month, as long as you are active at least. But from the moment you decide to stop working and live off of your investments and take out money out of your portfolio every month, it might be advisable to tone down the risk and look for safer investment options or dividend-paying stocks. If you were to follow course number 2 and invest the 460,000 euros you have saved up in dividend stocks, earning 3.5% yearly, that translates to 16,100 euros in dividends every year, or around 1,340 euros per month. Well, that's all great, but let's now talk about taxes. All the previous calculations were done with gross return on investment, gross dividends, but every country has other taxes on capital gained or on dividends. Always make sure that you are up to date with the rules in your place of residence. This is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, so do your own due diligence and be sure to know all the rules that apply where you live. In Belgium, we have no tax on capital gains, but we do have a rather high tax on dividend yields. Our dividends are taxed up to 30%. In some rare cases, they are taxed 15% or less. Most dividends from companies outside of Belgium are taxed in that foreign country as well as in Belgium. As a result, some dividends are taxed over 40%. And this means that compared to your normal capital gains, your income via dividends is heavily taxed. If you're okay with that, be my guest and invest as such in dividend-paying companies. But do be aware that at the end of the day, the income will be limited due to the taxes. If we calculated our Belgian taxes on the examples above, you would only get 700 euros per month in dividends, having invested 350,000 euros, or 940 euros per month when you have invested 460,000 euros in dividend-paying companies. There's also a tax refund for the first 240 euros withheld tax per year, but that's just a small drop compared to all the taxes you are already paying. Since there is no tax on capital gains, here in Belgium it is more interesting to just sell off part of your portfolio or of your investments every year if you need money. If your accumulating portfolio full of stocks and accumulating ETFs or funds has risen the same 3.5% as earlier, you can just sell off that profit of the portfolio and not be taxed on it. 3.5% gross in dividends on 460,000 euros is around 2.5% net. So 16,100 euros gross becomes 11,250 euros net. If you were to sell off 3.5% of the earnings of your portfolio of 460,000 euros, that 16,100 euros gross becomes net, and you are left with almost 5,000 euros more per year. The passive income strategy of dividends or earnings is different in every country. Tax laws have to be checked to take out your passive income in the most efficient way possible. In Belgium, we have a very heavy tax on dividends. Capital gains is not taxed for now, so we are better off selling our stocks. However, I do want to defend dividend investing in Belgium, since we can see that dividend-paying companies are often a lot more stable than the general market. Since they are paying out a lot of dividend, they have enough cash to overcome financial problems, and they can always easily protect their market share. Even during the pandemic, a lot of companies have ceased their dividend payments to shield themselves against unknown potential financial problems. But most of them have already resumed their payments. And some companies have even paid a bonus dividend this year to make up for the lost dividend of last year. A well-diversified dividend-paying portfolio will prove to be a steady source, a stable source of income. And when allocated correctly, taxes can be limited, so you as an investor can safely earn enough passive income to live off of. So, what do you prefer? Do you like a dividend-paying portfolio and getting those dividends every so often? Or would you just sell off part of your portfolio again at the end of the year to take out your profits? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a like for the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share the channel with a friend. Let's share the knowledge. It's all free and it helps a lot to spread the word. I thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one.